the newspapers, which is where the news is. It's on all the news shows where all the news is. And people have been talking about it for weeks, and that obviously, the thing I'm talking about, we all know what it is, tip of my tongue, it's the badger cull. Right? That's what we're, no? I was talking to my dad, who's here, by the way, so he hasn't heard this. This is going to be interesting. I was talking to my dad recently about the badger cull, and I said to him, Dad, in the UK, they've decided not to go ahead with the badger cull because they don't think they'll kill enough badgers. Right? That's a fair reason not to go ahead with something you don't think you can carry it out properly. And in quintessential Irish dad fashion, he said to me, fucking Brits. Can they not do anything right? I'll show them how it's done. Just give me a hammer and a map. Don't know what map he thinks exists, but I took him to the Science Museum in London recently, and has anyone been to the Science Museum in London? Anyone been? Yeah! They've got a euthanasia machine there in like a glass box. It's just amazingly complicated contraption because euthanasia is a very delicate procedure, you know? So my dad was looking at it, and because he's quite matter of fact, he turned to me and said, "Why would you use that?" And he goes, "Bash him over the head with a shovel." He's matter of fact, but he loves facts as well. Facts are his thing, right? He loves facts. He told me a fact the other day, and I'm going to share it with you, right? He said to me, if you take all your veins out of your body, right, and you tie them in a knot, and you line them up in a straight line, you'll die. So that's true. You may have thought when I was going to talk about the news, I was going to talk about the royal baby, right? Because that's genuinely what everyone's talking about, right? There's a baby out there. I'm 27 years old, and that baby in one day is more successful than me. You know, how's that looking there? We had a similar thing, and by we I mean Catholics. Do we have any other Catholics in the room? Any other Catholics in the room? Fantastic. If not, you're all going to love this. We had a similar thing. We had a similar thing where the news stood at a door with a camera waiting for something to come out of it. But for us, it was a new pope. A new pope. We had Pope Vote 2013. It was like X Factor, but holy. That was interesting because for about 2 weeks we had no fucking pope. That was weird. I did all sorts of things I wouldn't normally do. It was like when you're in school, right, and the teacher leaves the classroom, right? Shit just went fucking mental, right? I went out and I did crazy. I bought condoms. They're fucking expensive, aren't they? And I listened to women's opinions. That was new. That was a first. And I didn't molest anyone for a whole week. Yay! A day. I can't do everything at once, surely. But there was this Pope expert on the TV, and they said to him, "Pope expert," I don't remember his name, so we'll call him Pope expert. Pope expert, why do you use the smoke coming out of the Pope house? What's it called? The Vatican. Recently, I was talking to my sister recently, right? And I couldn't remember the word for coffin, so I said funeral box. Shit just happens to me. Also, toxic waste dump, couldn't remember, nuclear bad place, that's what I said. So Vatican, why do you use the smoke coming out of the Vatican? Why do you use the smoke? It's 2013, why don't you use modern technology like Twitter? You could have hashtag new pope, something similar like that. And they said we use the smoke because it's tradition. Something we've done for hundreds of years, something we continue to do for hundreds of years. But we know, ladies and gentlemen, the real reason that they use the smoke is to hide the fact that they're burning the old pope's hard drives. That's what they're doing in there. Pope is on Twitter though, right? I don't know if you've seen recently, the Vatican have said, not the Pope House, the Vatican have said that if you follow the Pope on Twitter, you get to heaven quicker. Yeah! Fucking brilliant, right? And if you favourite one of his tweets, you get your own cloud. And if you retweet it, you get a week as Jesus. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I'm afraid of a lot of things. I think it's because I grew up Catholic. I'm not so much Catholic anymore, but Catholicism's like herpes. You think it's gone, but it's still fucking there. Just waiting to bounce when you least expect it. Like my friends might look at a woman and think, oh, I wonder what she looks like naked. I look at a woman and I think, I wonder how many children she can bear me. That's what I do. I didn't go down as well as I thought. Probably because it was fucking sexist. Sorry about that. I'm quite afraid of death. So I'm afraid of death because I'm afraid that if I get up there, he might be fucking there, and I'm in a lot of trouble if he is, right? So I try to avoid getting myself injured. And recently I got this terrible black eye, right? I'm recovered from it now, and I got a lot of sympathy when I had the black eye, which I didn't really understand because I thought it was quite cool that I got to meet Chris Brown. That was a good afternoon. No, I got the black eye running away from a fight, right? But I wasn't even fucking in. Right, it just happened near me. It was an odd part of town. I wasn't too comfortable. I thought I'll run away from this fight, and I fell and I landed on my fucking face. Right, and I think that saved me because it's very hard to beat someone up when you're laughing that hysterically. It turns out. And I decided I needed to develop a way to deal with this situation. Going to these places I got not too comfortable with. So I read about these goats. Right, bear with me. I read about these goats, and there's these goats called fainting goats. Anyone heard of fainting goats? These goats, they've got this genetic condition, right, where when they get startled, they seize up and they fall over and they faint, right? What farmers do is they put them in a field of sheep, right? So when a fox attacks, the goat faints because it gets fucking oh my god, a fox, and poof, it's down, right? It eats the goat and the sheep escape. Amazing, right? So I employ a similar tactic when I go to a part of town I don't know, in that I invite an asthmatic friend. On the remote, I am knocking that fucker over and I am out of there! I'll leave you with a quick story. I met... A lot of people always talk about the drunk uncle at a wedding, right? And I always thought it was a mythical creature like a unicorn or something like that. But I fucking met one, and it was at an Irish wedding, so let me tell you, it wasn't hard to find. And I was in the urinals at this wedding, right? I wasn't in the fucking urinals, I was standing in front of the urinals pissing, because that's what you do there. And in came the drunk uncle, he was sort of talking to me, and he was slurring his speech, I didn't really know what he was saying, so I sort of, you know, smiling and nodding and hoping that's what he expected to hear, and he went about his business and began to urinate also, and I knew this because I could hear it, I could hear it happen, right? And you know guys, you're in the urinal, right, and you're not looking, but you can still sort of see out of the corner of your eye, you've got a peripheral vision. I could hear him piss, but I couldn't, there was no visual to follow on, so I was like, this guy's drunk enough that I can look down and see what's going on here. So I looked over, right, and what he'd done is, he'd zipped down his fly and just popped a single bollock out. He was holding that and pissing down the inside left leg of his trousers, right? But the best part, the most lovely part of the whole story is that before he finished, he still shook the bollock dry. Wonderful stuff. I've been Alan Power, we're on upstairs, the Human Centrepiece every day, 12:45. Thank you very much. Alan Power! Oh, that